Hi guys, we are here with Carlo, Managing Director from FRB, and Tarek, the Head of Development. So they are going to talk about the industry from a developer point of view. So both of them have been working in the European market and also in the Australian market. So what are for you, Carlo, the biggest difference between the Australian market and the European one?
Oof, good question, Becca. Yeah, how long do we have? A couple of hours? Or... Well, many differences, of course, but probably the one that's it's worth mentioning is in relation to the quality of the grid, I would say. Well, Europe has a very dense interconnection system, which is ready to accommodate and non-dispatchable generators like solar and wind. Compared to Australia, where the grid is very thin, is very long, and this poses some challenges and some potential issues to developers when they have to select their plot of lands and when they have to carefully analyze the connection point and the impact of the generator. And I'm talking about system strength issues or impact or marginal loss factors. I think so. This I would say is probably the main difference. In this regard, maybe I want to mention that I'm still positive and hopeful that things are going to change and improve in Australia. Of course, the market has been booming. We need the infrastructure to keep the same pace. Late last year, the shortened Labour government announced, among other initiatives and their plans to support climate change and renewables, a fund, a 5 billion fund, to support the upgrade of the grids. This type of initiatives is what really we are expecting to kind of bring the Australian market up to speed with the European one.
Perfect. Tarek, which were the biggest challenges for the industry in 2018?
Again, I think the grid part of the development is the most critical one. We've seen that the NSPs have been overwhelmed with a lot of applications and PV plants being developed and wind farms. And again, the regulatory framework is very well placed. However, the process takes, in some states, up to 2 years to develop and get the whole development permitting in place, which is not very favorable for the developers. But we have been educating each other back and forth with the states and different stakeholders to expedite and optimize the whole process.
What are the developers expecting about 2019?
Well, other developers, I'm not sure, but what are we expecting? Well, the reality is that the industry is expecting this. So it's definitely a little bit more clarity on the policy from the federal government. The climate wars of the past year were not very helpful. The whole saga around the NEG and which didn't really get to any landing in terms of an agreement within the government and the states. Created some kind of concerns for us. We need clarity. We need to know what are the rules of the games. There is an election coming up before May this year. We're hopeful that whatever party is gonna be at the government at the federal level, they're gonna support us in this sense. Whether this is called NEG, it's a new RET, it's a different emission incentive scheme. We just would like to have that clarity so that then we can keep doing business and continue doing business as we've been doing in the past years.
Perfect. And for these developers who are trying to come to Australia, what is your advice, Tarek?
First advice is do not come.
Be careful,
as
guys.
I always say. Yeah, I would say that the renewable energy market in Australia is a young one. However, the electricity market is quite sophisticated and this requires a strong team with strong local knowledge, but also international knowledge can make the difference.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you.